My name is Christian Basil. Years ago, I had an idea. I got myself a TARDIS. Took it to new places, met a lot of new people, took some great pictures, and talked Doctor Who. From Krypton Radio and the creators of the Hanging With web show, this is the legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Join me on my latest adventures and become part of the legend. "1940, at the height of the Blitz, a weapon of unknown origin destroys a small corner of Mayfair and simultaneously opens a rift in space and time. For decades, UNIT have fought off undetected to protect the people of Earth from the dangers it poses. Weakened and beaten back as the fractures multiply out of control, they're close to defeat." Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basil. We have a wonderful group tonight who are going to be talking about what I just talked about, something called time fracture. Doctor Who time fracture. Welcome there. And there, we're starting off with, if you want to chat with us and the team tonight, please do so. If you're on the YouTube channel, if you're on the Facebook page, either at Wizard World or the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, or in the Twitch channel, go there right now. Chat with us and let us know what you're thinking. Ask any questions of our team tonight. We're going to be talking about an immersive thing called time. The thing is, Melanie, I don't even know what time fracture is. People,
you were doing so well.
I know I was doing so well.
He was doing so well, and then now our guest is
immersive thing.
You can say an immersive experience.
Immersive experience. Should we just start all over for the whole show? Welcome. My name is Christian.
Amazing guest. This is what Christian does.
You know what? This is. Welcome, folks. Thanks again for joining us. My name is Christian Basil. Over here is Melanie Dean, at Instagram, Pieces of Man. Hey, how you doing there, Melanie?
I'm doing quite well. I hope everybody else is very excited for our interview for tonight, today, or wherever, you're watching this, or whenever.
We were talking about our team earlier. If you're currently watching right now, it's midnight in the UK, or it's getting towards midnight in the UK.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys.
But over here on the other side, our friend Dave from the rathole.ca. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing fabulous, Christian.
It's only 4 o'clock p.m.
It's only 4 o'clock for me.
No, whatever.
Canadians.
Hey, if it's any consolation, I'm hungry. It's almost supper time.
Oh my goodness, shut up. Put him back away. And don't forget, if you want to chat with us on live chat, please do so. I want to welcome everybody who's joining us. Dan Holyfield, that was neat, yes. And Graham Krause, thank you for joining us. And don't forget to go to our YouTube channel, subscribe at youtube.com, The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, and help us grow that channel. We're up to 1,200 Facebook, YouTube subscribers. And, speaking of Facebook, we are now still climbing up towards 53,000 subscribers and getting there rapidly. So thank you for all the help. Thank you for supporting us. But without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in our guests. Ladies first. So, Rebecca, tell our friends about us.
Hello. Yes. About us, about me,
about us, about you, about everybody up there. But Rebecca's going to start off. Rebecca, tell us a little bit about time fracture and how your involvement in time fracture down there. Now, you are the production designer, if I'm not mistaken.
I am. So time fracture is an immersive theatre experience in the centre of London. So my job as the production designer is to design the sets, but also to design the costumes and all the prop elements and the overall look of the entire show.
Awesome there. Now, we're also going to bring in Tom Mailer. Did I pronounce that right? Tom Mailer?
Tom Maller.
Tom Maller. My apologies there, Tom. Thank you there. No. Tom is actually the director of Time Fracture. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved.
Yeah, so I've been working in immersive theatre for the last 7 years, directing some of the biggest immersive shows in London and China. and then have an opportunity to come together with Immersive Everywhere and working with Doctor Who as a title, which is super exciting. So working with Dan, my long-term collaborator, who's next to me in the picture, we joined forces with Becca and created a live episode of Doctor Who where the audience get to step in and for 2 hours and 15 minutes play the main part and save the universe and hopefully have a really awesome time.
And speaking of Dan the Man, there is Mr. Dan himself, Dan Digsdale. How you doing there, Dan?
Very well, thank you, Christian. Hello, I'm Daniel. I'm the writer of Doctor Who Time Fracture. And as Tom said, myself and Tom have worked together and collaborated on several shows over the last 7 years or so, and had the opportunity from the producers of Immersive Everywhere to come together and make, as they said at the time, an immersive Doctor Who show, which is now what we've created in Time Fracture, which is immersive theatre. For those who don't know, is a theatrical medium. It's a theatre show, but rather than sitting in chairs and having your seats and watching something on a stage unfold in front of you, the actors are very much behind a fourth wall. We've taken that fourth wall down and created worlds that the audience members step into, which have been beautifully realized by Rebecca's amazing designs, where our audience members buy a ticket and they step into the world of Doctor Who and travel through interacting with characters, communicating with the actors and being a driving force within the story, where they have the ability to choose what they see and how they interact with the story, which is, as Tom said, in essence, a 2-hour live action episode of Doctor Who where they play a part within that story.
Gotcha. And Carl, do not apologize. If you're watching another episode of the Traveling TARDIS, that's fine. I'm not going to get mad. You're watching the show. We prefer you to watch the live show, but that's cool. If you're going to be watching anything, please watch The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Okay, so Tom and Dan, if I'm not mistaken, you two came up with the concept of Time Fracture. You're both Whovians, I'm assuming, correct? Where did you guys start in your timeline of Doctor Who? When did your geekdom start?
Well, I believe we were both lapsed Whovians because I grew up in the very awkward wilderness years. So Doctor Who wasn't around when I was prime Doctor Who viewing age. I still had the annuals. And I remember I watched, I don't know if you remember the episode, Dimensions in Time, I think it was called. It was a comic relief episode where Tom Baker was kind of in it, but everybody else who was still with us was still in it. And it was based around Doctor Who villains invading Albert Square, which is the set of a very popular soap opera EastEnders over here in the UK.
Right.
Absolutely not the highest of standards, but when I was 7 and watching it, I thought it was brilliant at that point. There were loads of doctors in it, all the audiences, and there was a helicopter. I thought it was great. Revisiting it, as I did now, I feel like my 8-year-old review wasn't quite the ticket, but I watched the Paul McGann was my first time watching it very excitedly at around about 10 years old, and then I missed it coming back at 2005, but I caught I came back on board. I caught on New Year's Day the End of Time Part 2, apropos of nothing, watched that second part and ended up getting very, very emotional when David Tennant looked at the camera and said, "I don't want to go." I found myself crying, going, "I don't want you to go either, David, and I don't know who you are." And then started watching then. So Matt Smith through to Peter Capaldi, and then Jodie was the Doctor when we got the call, or was about to be the Doctor when we got the call about doing this. So then went right the way back to the beginning. And went through a good few times from William right the way through to where at that point the Timeless Children. By the time we were really fully ready to go, lapsed Whovian that has gone back is my experience with it.
And you know what? When we would discuss on the show is just like when we first started out over here, our first episode premiered the day before Jodie Whittaker took on the role. And our first episode on the audio before we became the visual version, that what you see is now here on the StreamYard, is that we were discussing about our predictions about Jodie Whittaker, her role, being the first female Doctor, and what we were seeing that, and that's where we came on. I'm a kid that I call a creature of PBS. So Tom Baker was my Doctor. Not only was he my Doctor, he was my only Doctor because I did not know anything else. Because the PBS ran from Robot to Logopolis, and I saw Tom Baker fall off the tower. He turns into a blonde, and then the show starts all over again because our PBS didn't bother buying the series. So There you go, that there. But Tom, you, I'm assuming you are a classic Who fan, or are you somebody?
Yeah, similar age to Dan. So we didn't have a doctor at the time of growing up, but I jumped in with Eccleston, who I think is still probably my favourite. Just loved the characteristics and the quality, and also the other films he was smashing out in Hollywood at the same time. And then we both Dan and I went to drama school. And so we kind of tapped out from Doctor Who and TV and life for 3 or 4 years. But getting the phone call to create the show has given us a huge opportunity to go right back and find the elements and the characters and the sets, which Rebecca can talk about what we'd want to see as an audience member. As a fan, what would you want to see? What's the must-haves in our show? And then we had a world pandemic. So then we were all staying at home. So we had nothing else to do but watch and rewatch and talk about it. And so, I've sat in this yellow chair talking to these two guys for 2 years about what elements we want to have in the show, what's our favorite parts, what do we think the audience desperately want to see or hear or run away from. So, yeah, it's been really exciting to get stuck back in.
So this idea came before the pandemic, not post.
Yeah, we were meant to be open.
How long was this sitting in fest?
End of summer 2020, we were going to open. So end of 2019, Dan and I got a phone call. I was away, and then Dan and I got a phone call from Immersive Everywhere. Both jumped at the opportunity to go, great, let's make a show together. Early 2020, we met Becca, and she blew us away with her ability and her sharp eye. And then so we started working quite quickly, actually. Built the wider team from the tech, the lighting designers, sound designers, graphic designers, video designers, built the team very quickly and started work full time. And then, of course, in March, the world fell apart and paused. And so we came to quite a big crossroads where we could stop and we could pause and we would pick up tools when the world cleared up a bit, or we carried on. And we decided to carry on making the show. And, we said this to each other, but that in itself kept our sanity, having this creative chat about something we cared about passionately. Every week, every couple of days, we were on production meetings thinking about how we could push the show further. What else can we add to it? What's working, what's not working? And so we actually gained more time to grow as a team, but also grow the show, which I think has been really special.
Did you ever fear that you were going to lose the venue? Because I know with COVID happening, I mean, you're only going to have your show running a certain time and place. So what happened with that?
I think the venue was okay because nothing else could go in there because nothing else was being made. We were afraid that we'd run out of time with our team because there's the three of us, but then we have an awesome team, like top of the game. I work with on many shows, from the designers, lighting designers, all this stuff. And of course, like if the schedule suddenly picks back up again, we only have certain players for a specific block, and they have to go back to their lives and carry on. But also, I think that there's a point where we were scared about could we ever do immersive theatre again? Like just to go on what Dan was saying earlier, it's theatre, but the audience are present in the moment. So the audience are in a space. There's no seats. You're encouraged to dress up so you can wear your Tom Baker scarf, Christian. You can run around having the best time. However, you can follow the action. The actors lead you around and suddenly you see a scene or a set piece or a sideman attack, whatever it may be. But we weren't sure if we could ever get to that stage, especially this year or next year. So that was quite nerve-wracking at times, but we're finding our way through.
Yeah, I
reducing numbers down. Yeah,
I felt bad because I had there was a store that opened up. It was I'm sorry, not a store, but a restaurant that opened up in a corner. And this was just right before the pandemic. And there's a joke that Chris Rock says. He goes, grand opening, grand closing. And that was, it closes as fast as it's open. And it's like the pandemic really hurt a lot of people. Now, there's a comment. I just want to say, Ed Tahana, thank you for joining us. I can't put up your comment, but I'll read the second half, which is the old series is better. Okay. Okay. Some people think the old series is better. No worries there. Rebecca, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you a little bit, but we're going to be going to a commercial break. When we return, we're going to discuss more with Rebecca, Tom, and Dan about time fracture and why you should go and check this out when we return. Please continue to stay logged on, tuned in, and become part of the legend.
Jackie Sonnenberg's My Soul to Keep is a ghost story rooted in the realities of actual cults. When 13-year-old Sky Monroe arrives at her new boarding school, All she can think about is death and connecting with the afterlife. Soon she discovers her school's spirituality group, the Guardians of Light, and they have a secret. They can speak with the dead, and the organization is a cult. But this isn't Sky's only problem. The campus house where Sky resides is haunted, and even the ghosts have an agenda. They intend on getting the souls they want. Filled with mystery and intrigue plucked straight from the headlines, author Jackie Sonnenberg's research and attention to detail give this ghost story an even more eerie atmosphere. Find My Soul to Keep on Amazon.com today.
Meet the Doctor.
I'm the Doctor.
But not the one you were expecting.
All right, sexy. It's time to go home.
Doctor Who Velocity. Streaming now.
Famous Faces and Funnies in Melbourne, Florida is leading the way in pop culture fun. From comic books and graphic novels to Funko Pops and collector's items, Famous Faces and Funnies has it all. Rick Shea and the professional team at Famous Faces and Funnies are friendly and knowledgeable. Whether you're looking for toys, props, collector treasures, or a new comic book, Famous Faces and Funnies is your one-stop shop. To find Famous Faces and Funnies on Facebook and Twitter, just type at FFF Comics.
You know, just for fun, just in case, Dave, I'm going to run this anyway, just for people who may have not seen Time Fracture. I think it's just a safe assumption.
What?
Spoilers.
Oh. Fantastic.
And if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, on the Facebook pages, on the Twitch channel, don't thank us. Thank our friends over at geekinsider.com. Don't forget to subscribe at geekinsider.com.
At Geek Insider, we foster relationships with those in the geek sphere so we can give our audience the insider view of entertainment, tech, and more.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basil. That's Melanie Dean. That's Dave Chapman. And our friends up above, Rebecca Brower, Tom Mauler, did I get it right? And Dan Dingsdale. I almost went Monty Python on that.
So many people.
I am so sorry.
The hedgehog.
Can I say it? Just get
Dingsdale.
Okay, fine. I've got it down there. Dingsdale. Okay.
Dingsdale.
It's going to be like the mole with Austin Powers. I'm just not going to be able to get. Anyway, welcome back, folks. We are going to be talking about Doctor Who Time Fracture, and we're going to be discussing with the lovely Rebecca Brower, who is the production designer. Tell us a little bit about your role, and you're a Whovian. Please tell me you're a Whovian.
Absolutely. I mean, I grew up thoroughly with my dad as a kind of Star Wars, Star Trek, any sort of sci-fi fan.
Yay!
For me, it kind of Doctor Who kind of came about in 2005 when Christopher Eccleston came on, and then just carried on watching from there, all the way up to Jodie Whittaker, of course. So my job as the production designer is, yes, the set designer, the costume designer, and props as well. I've got an amazing team of costumiers, of scenery constructors, of an art director, props team that have been able to put this together. And to your comment earlier, Melanie, about space, we were really, really lucky because they'd already signed the lease to the space when COVID unfortunately happened. So we decided, like Tom mentioned, shall we just keep working? Yes, let's do it. And part of that conversation was, let's move into the space earlier. Let's have more time, and let's spend the time that we really, really rarely get in theatre and events to make sure that we can pack this show with detail and what we're calling Easter eggs, so we spent months, moved in November last year and finished last week adding those details. And I'm sure I'll continue to get emails from Tom asking for more things from now on.
Well, one thing that for a production designer, I'm thinking you're in theater, you're used to, you have your stage and then you have your audience. You have that proscenium is going to be where the delineation is, whether it's theater in the round or, what have you. But you're utilizing your audience as part of the actor for the immersion. So how do you go about designing everything with also the idea of where people are walking through? Because you have, 17 different kind of mini sets that they can kind of go to. So how difficult was that to go, okay, well, I need to design all of these items, but I need to actually have to have ideas of where the heck I'm going to put people to walk through and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you almost have to design it like you're an interior designer. One comparison I've been making recently is designing a video game. So you can't just have black or blank backs of flats and scenery. Every single inch is explored by our audience. So every single door has to lead somewhere. Every single corridor has to lead somewhere. Every single place that you look needs to be real. So it was very much combining kind of interior design with game design, with theatre design, and with film design to make sure every single element was covered. So we kind of started with almost a geography map of where we wanted to place these locations. Tom, myself, and Dan would walk around, not so much an empty space, which was quite a challenge, to map out how we wanted the audience to walk through, what we wanted to be experienced at what time. From then, I kind of built this geographical map, putting in all the walls and putting in all of the doors. Also, obviously, all the fire escapes, because you've got to think about that as well, which as a theatre designer as well, I don't have to make sure that there's a fire escape on stage. So that's all part of it, and making sure that that's immersive as well. And even down to the fire door handle that I pick, you're in an Elizabethan world. So that's a choice. It's crazy. I wanted to make sure everything was perfect. And then so from creating that geographical map, then we enter the detail. Then we kind of flesh out our worlds, almost more similar to a set design then when you've got your environment. And then you've got another level on top of that, which is adding all of your details. And the one amazing thing that we got to do as a design team was go to Cardiff, which is in Wales and where they film Doctor Who, where the BBC Studios is located. And we got the privilege of going through all of the Doctor Who prop stores.
Oh, wow.
It was amazing. And picking things out, building those details, hiring things out so that we could get them replicated perfectly, or actually being given them to put in the show, which we've done. And we also had to, my team, I took the art director and my assistant Hannah, and we had to also go in and pretend to be really, really professional.
Oh, good job.
Right?
We do that every episode on this show.
Internally, you're screaming at certain props, going, but you have your mask on. Okay, yeah, so what if I can get that?
And there was a crew member. I remember on our first day, we went a couple of times. A funny story was on our first day that we went. There was a crew member that didn't know Doctor Who very well, but he was hired to help us kind of lift the really heavy things. And he just turned around and held up River Song's diary and just said, "What is this?" And we all stood there going, I just completely went silent. So it was a lot of fun. And so we could then, on top of the design that we'd already done in London, could flesh out the detail on top of that, which was a lot of fun.
Now, Daniel, when you're writing, and Tom as well, when you know your story and you wanted to have all these different worlds, how hard was it for you to rein yourself in to be the only dozen or so areas that in turn Rebecca and her team were going to create? I mean, did you have like 40 million things that you wanted to do and go, okay, well, or did you have like a little bucket list of, I want an Elizabethan era, I want this type of space? How did you condense it? How did you grow it?
Well, part of it is down to the bucket list. Like we approached this thinking that this is the Doctor Who immersive show. There's not going to be another one that we do. So there's nothing that we want to like go, we wish we would have done that. So trying to put that list in. If you were a fan and came to see the show, what would you be disappointed if you didn't see? It's also important to say that this we wanted this show to be a love letter to the entirety of the Doctor Who canon, not just the modern iteration and not just belonging to one Doctor. But if anyone was a fan of, as I believe it was it Ed who said that the classic series is better, we do want to cater to everyone who does have a favorite Doctor and a favorite a favorite section of the show, a favorite generation that would be in some way represented within this show. So with that in mind, you then start pulling things out and going, oh, it would be lovely if that was represented there, and how that's represented. And then from there, it then became the case of trying to find what story ties all of those things together, and how does one move through that in a way that this does have a beginning, a middle, and an end, so that you can walk in off the street. The ideal being, you can walk in off the street having never seen an episode of Doctor Who and still understand what's happening to a certain extent. But if you are a fan, you're going to have an amazing time, because everything that you see or experience or are told about, you'll go, I recognize that. I know that's twisted in some way, because the whole idea of this time fracture is it's a rip in reality that is causing these anomalies and shaping reality in a different way. So things will be potentially familiar, but not quite the same when one goes through the story. And it's up to the duty of the audience as they go through it is to set the world right again.
Okay.
And as far as like growing, like the show is the show. It's 2 hours and 15 minutes. However, because it's interactive theatre, so immersive sometimes gets confusing for people. Let's call it interactive theatre, where the audience interact with the narrative and the cast, right? So there's always a new character every day, which is the audience. So the actors are constantly finding new moments. They have their set tracks where they kind of know where they're going to be at specific minutes of that 2 hours. However, the show is constantly growing because new audiences come with their favorite Doctor or their favorite episode, and they're bringing that energy into the space. And so the actors aren't going to deny that offer from the audience. They're going to accept it, but then steer them back through the fracture narrative and on to the next location. So the show is constantly growing with detail and rich qualities throughout this whole run, which is great. You know, Dan and I worked on many shows together. A show that starts off in the first month finds its feet. The show by the end of the year is a completely different show, because the actors become so quick, because the audiences offer so much, because they care, which is lovely.
And how does that work? Because I know you have audience members who are not going to want to be involved.
Yeah.
And you're going to have audience members that are like, oh my God, I want to be right in there. Oh my God.
Yeah. So we got 43 cast, and they are all top of their game. What's been amazing about this process is meeting lots of new people. So I've directed like 10 big immersive shows, and kind of thought, you knew most of the main players in the immersive world. However, we had 5,000 applicants for Doctor Who because everyone was available. No shows were happening. No one was on tour. Everything was cancelled. So we've met so many new people as well as old faces, and we've brought them together and made a really strong cast, really talented cast. So from that, the cast are then taking on the narrative, the beats that Dan's written, and then I take them to rehearsals for like 6 weeks, and we start to create their characters, and we start to create their journeys and their content. And from that, the cast are then trained up in a specific way where I kind of like broken down the audience into like 6 categories. People who are narrative players, people who want to really, really play and discover the new narrative of Doctor Who Time Fracture, which is a live episode, but you're the main hero. A fan. So people like ourselves who'd come and go, cool, what Sideman is that? Where's that prop from? Oh my God, it's part of the TARDIS. People who's a group player, so who wants to come as a group of 6 like us right now and run around with their friends and do everything together. Someone who's a social player, so they want to come and they want to drink green cocktails on an alien planet and have a fun time. And then there's the observer player, who's someone who's really into it, who loves Doctor Who, but don't put me in the spotlight. Don't make me say something in front of everyone else. I don't want to do it, but I'm totally here and I'm absolutely loving it. And then the final one is that 6 already? Is that 6? I can't count. It's 11 o'clock at night. Maybe that's I think that was 6. But
I think it was your explorer.
We'll forgive you and say
my
yes.
explorer player, someone who goes, I've been told to do this, but through there I can see there's a fracture. I want to go have a look. What's up those staircase? Oh my God, it's Shakespeare. Do you know what I mean? Like people who are just going to go on their own journey through space, time, and dimension, which is absolutely fine. And so basically, the actors embody this, and when they come across an audience member, they say, "Hey, how you doing?" And they can see within a matter of seconds which type of character you are, and then they slightly adjust themselves and go, "Cool, hey, let me show you something," or "Where do you want to start?" And the audience will go, "I know this, this, and this." It varies every single audience member, but the actors are that good that they can read body language, they can read if someone's shy, and they just adapt. And so the show is for everyone, because the cast are the heartbeat and the life of the show, and they are just feeding off you. They're here to give you the best time, the way you want to experience it, which is great.
It's strange. I can visualize everything, like the concept of everything you're doing. I can't picture what I would do, because I'm that theater guy that I'll go into a new theater space for a touring production, and I spend the entire pre-show doing this.
Yeah.
Checking out the lighting rig. Checking it. What can I see? Oh, look, that's a nice little detail right up there.
Stop looking at the par cans and pay attention to what's being.
Well, I think the thing is that if you're a Doctor Who fan, going back from what Becca's saying, if you're a Doctor Who fan, I think most of the time you're going like, "Holy moly, that is from this episode!" Because, like we said, we're working in close collaboration with the BBC, and we've got the props. So it's not, some of them aren't just like knockoffs or replicas. They are the prop. They are David Tennant's chair. They are Matt Smith's screen. They are actually the ones from the episode. So
are they nailed down?
They are super glued.
They're super glued down, right?
Oh yeah.
Becca went around the set with a lot of super glue.
Yeah.
If I've worked in theme parks before, and if it's not screwed down, nailed down, tapped down, or something, it becomes somebody's souvenir after the show. So
yeah, we're very aware that there's lots of prying eyes on some of the props.
To be honest, the biggest problem we've been having actually is not our lovely audience. It's letting cleaners know that when they see pieces of food, they are not real. Don't throw them away. And so that's been the hardest thing.
Oh no!
Say what it is, Becca.
Go on.
So, well, we've had two things thrown away now. So we've had the bowl of fish fingers and custard thrown away. So we had to get the prop maker to remake them. And then we've just had it's too late at night. I can't remember the name of the pizza place. Alfredo's Pizza in
Cardiff.
In Torchwood has been thrown away as well because they think it's a general pizza box.
And this is one of those weird situations where it's not just the crew doing their own cleanup.
So what do you do when that box is missing? And so who do you run? What PA do you run out to go get me another one now?
We have a design team, a running team that stay with the show the whole time. So whenever those sorts of things happen, it's just sorted out ASAP, and we have a running budget for that. So the fish fingers and custard, the prop maker was alerted that night, and she had a new one with us within 4 days, and we printed the pizza boxes. So we did anticipate that might happen already. So along with our Kablam boxes, we've got a lot of those, but I'm not going to say that on here because it's not to steal, guys.
Do not take the props, people. Leave it for someone else.
If it goes home with anybody, then no one else can enjoy it.
Yeah, we should get some Jadoons. Graham's right. Jadoons should be on the exit. Yeah, and so there's just
that's a really good point.
I'll say this before we hit a commercial break. I was working in the most popular haunted location ever at a particular theme park, and one of our a custodian was told to clean up one of the rooms. And when we went back there, we came back to the management, and we told them she did a wonderful job. She cleaned it up. And the manager was looking in our face and was just like, "What do you mean?" And it's just like, "Well, she also removed the cobwebs that are supposed to be there.
The haunted mansion.
She really cleaned it up. It's the most immaculate room in this whole place.
Hey, and she did a job.
Yeah, exactly. What do you do there?" So
we had that one of our locations actually, and it's one of the locations that I can't talk about, so I won't. I wanted it to remain really dusty and dirty and horrible. And there was an old lino floor that had been there for God knows how long. Because this area that we're talking about, our area is an old military base. Right. And so I was really, really happy with how old and dusty and horrible the floor was. And so I went in with the team on our first day, and the entire room and the entire lino floor had been deep cleaned. Everything had been removed, so we had to paint on top of it what we wanted first. So yeah, that was also interesting.
All right, well, when we return, we're going to continue our chat with Rebecca, Tom, and Daniel from Doctor Who Time Fraction. When we return, please continue to stay logged on, tuned in, and become part of the legend. Dan, you got this?
Got this.
Dave, you got this?
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Koepp at CKOEPP.com today.
This is Cosplay Michael with the Hanging Out Club Show. I want to tell you about my friends at Immersive Effects in Orlando, Florida. They've got makeup, costumes, and props for all of your costume needs. And the team at Immersive Effects is helpful and friendly. Immersive Effects is one of my favorite places, and I know it will be yours too. I'll see you there. Or go to ImmersiveEffects.com. And remember, cosplay is for everyone.
This is the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Also catch us on the HWWS Web TV YouTube channel. Subscribe today and become part of the legend.
So we have no idea what Christian said because he can't see us, he can't hear us, but his microphone is not on. Thankfully, I have control over that. I don't even know what he was saying because he's got his own little spiel. So let's see if Christian can be heard now.
He can be heard now. Thanks there, brother. Yeah, I just had to leave the room for a moment there. Mort, when are we going to start this game there? Doctor Who Worlds Apart. That's Doctor Who Worlds Apart. Get your cards. You can get them for free. Every day that you lock in, you can get more Panda cards, and then you can get real cards to play the game. And you don't have to purchase anything, but you definitely want to go ahead and log in and start your account. Doctor Who worldsapart.com. Check them out there. We can't wait to start playing there. My name's Christian Basil. Welcome back to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. And here's our team today. We have Rebecca. We have Tom. We have Dan. We have Dave. We have Melanie.
Melanie, who does not have controls and admin on right now. Otherwise, I would have fixed that as fast as possible. But instead, in the lower deck, you just saw me flailing, going, whatever.
It happens. It happens.
We were both doing it.
I pulled a Brian K. Morse. Yep, I said it live here on TV there. We want to welcome our friends from Doctor Who Time Fracture, and we're going to continue the discussion. And I think, Melanie, did you have the next question? Or
Dave did, but I can come up with like 18 of them.
I've got plenty. We both have. This is like, you guys have such a great, this is such a weird and fascinating concept.
Dave, while you're asking the question, I've been neglecting this. I got to show the people what they're going to be getting into when they go over the Time Fracture. But go ahead. Go ahead. I want to show them. I got to show them. Yes.
So this is Unit. Becca, talk us through the pictures.
Yeah, this is Unit Hub, the unit base. And you've got loads of consoles all down the side on the right and the left where you can look at news reports of things going catastrophically wrong around the world, and our central hub in the middle that becomes something else.
Shut up, Carl.
And right in the back, if you can see through the smoke, you've got the Time Fracture itself with the PSGs, portal stabilization gateways being built by the scientists in front of them.
Now, here's the one I really love because there's so many Easter eggs going on in this one right here.
Yeah. So this is the very, very start of the entrance into Unit. So it starts as a kind of abandoned military base.
Uh-huh.
I just brought in a graffiti artist, gave him a list of words and just said, go crazy. And so he did.
I just love, I love the fact, Carl. Yeah, Unit is back. Yes, Unit is still out there.
Yes.
So we're just
definitely back.
And the images and Becca, these are just gorgeous. I mean, out of this world gorgeous.
So this is our spaceship liner, which is kind of our interval area where we've got a giant bar and loads of people can go and buy themed cocktails. This is actually with the room empty of chairs and tables, but now since this picture, it's full of chairs and tables, and at the very end as well, you've got a panoramic view of the universe as well.
Forget the bar. Can I have this in my bedroom? I really want that. Come on. It is. I mean, these pictures are just gorgeous.
This is Kasavin, so parallel dimension from series 12. Right, series 12.
Was that Spy? Was that
Spyfall?
Yeah, Spyfall.
Spyfall, where it's very. It's just captured the atmospheric look of that set piece here, just absolutely brilliantly.
I am just blown away by each and every image, but of course, Operation Time Fracture.
So this is part of the unit hub as well, and we just needed a giant Operation Time Fracture logo on the wall because why not? But also, it's
also like we've taken the original unit logo, right? You can see on the left of the screen, and combined it into the show logo, which is the operation for the audience.
Yeah.
And I swear this next picture comes out like of a scary horror sci-fi movie.
Yeah. So this is our pipe corridor. It leads into, we've got many genres that we cover throughout the show, historical, futuristic, sci-fi, and this kind of brings us into our horror segment of the show, in the depths of a spaceship.
One of us must.
Are any of these pieces like one-way directions, or are there like the hub that you can revisit and...
There are you've kind of got three, Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, you've kind of got three parts to the show. So I'd say the first part of the show. Yeah, but I mean, as in, I'm splitting it up into three just because you've got the first part that you're led from area to area. Then the second part you can explore and go wherever you want. And then the third part is area to area up to our finale point.
Yeah.
Wow. Not only does Kelly know the name of the episode, but she's putting 7B. I could not even remember that to save my life. I just remember Cold War.
Yes.
It's a good one, Kelly. Yeah.
Amazing.
I would just say, Kelly, the top line is ketchup. The next one is mustard. The next one's mayonnaise going into wherever it's going out there. Now, this is where things get a little different.
So this is Leonardo da Vinci's studio.
Oh, wow.
You meet Leonardo da Vinci himself. And he's painting the Mona Lisa in the corner as well, and is creating plans for our main prop of the show. Don't want to give it away.
Is it that every 2 hours he takes his 20-minute nap and then he's back to the show?
Yeah.
Now we have two different interiors. I just love the first Doctor being in the screen down there. And he looks a little upset. And there's another version of that same screen.
That's with the portals open.
Yeah, you can see down into the tunnels through time and space.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Got it. Oh, I see. Oh, God.
So the audience arrive here, and then they're split in half. So 45 go to the right portal, and 45 go down the left portal, and they end up into Act 2, which is where the free roaming immersive or free roaming interactive elements happen, with the audience kind of choosing their own adventure for the next stage of the show.
Now, would it be safe to say that no two experiences are the same?
No, we've already had lots of audiences returning, because I think those who put energy into it understand that there's multiple stories happening at the same time.
Got it. Wow.
And so they're like those who get it and are exploring and talking to actors or characters and different narratives are coming back handful of times already, and we've only been open no less than a month, and so it's really exciting. Like I said, 43 actors all holding a beginning, middle, and end over 2 hours, and so it would be impossible for you to run around and do everything in one go. And that's not for everyone. Some people want to sit down at a cinema or in a theatre and see everything and be entertained. Some people, which we cater for, are people who are curious and up for having a bit of an adventure.
Yeah.
And absolutely, returning ticket is advisory because there's so much going on.
Now, is this something where the person who wants to go to this, if they trying to think like how much mobility they have, do they need to be somewhat?
No, the whole show is accessible. Becca's done a great job, and we have an operations team that makes sure it's seamless and everything is part of the narrative. So if an audience or access patron turns up, it's still part of the narrative, and everything that they do and everywhere they go is through the show.
We have an amazing bespoke wheelchair lift that takes you round the spiral staircase of the tunnels of the kind of traveling through time. So that's really cool.
And that last photo, Christian, you could then spot the Easter eggs. You can look at that chair, look at that screen, look at that console.
I mean, there's everything in that. The console is from the Doctor's wife, and then you've got the mummy.
Yeah, Orient Express up on the right.
You've got the TVs from, now I can't remember the 1953 episode with the Nation of the Queen. You've got Matt Smith's chair from his TARDIS. You've got Matt Smith's TV screen from the TARDIS. What else can I spot?
To the left of the screen, you can't quite see. You've got David Tennant's chair, right? The big one.
Yeah. There's loads of other little bits in here.
It's not fair. I would be not too busy playing the game, but just walking around going like, okay, what's this? What's this? What's this?
Well, this was a really, really fun character to design for. So this area is Brolls, who's a pig slave. And this is his junkyard. And he's kind of a black market Del Boy salesman. And he also specializes in TARDIS elements. So I tried to collect bits and pieces from every single Doctor's TARDIS.
Wow.
Every single TARDIS incarnation over the years to create this area. So there's also around to the left as well, bits from Jodie Whittaker's TARDIS as well. And I mean, everybody's.
Wow, this is just. We got a few more pictures. This one I just could sit down and relax in.
So this is Queen Elizabeth I's court, Richmond Palace, and some secret areas that when you kind of explore this area in particular. All I say to people and friends who go and see this is if you see a door, don't go through it. Probably really boring. Go and find that are not doors to go through, and that's where you find your secret.
And what's amazing is like we've got to create a new canon here, right? So obviously Elizabeth and the Day of the Doctor and Shakespeare Code, but then we've kind of found a place in between, but also created a whole new storyline that the audience can feel familiar, so they kind of know where they are and who's around, but at the same time, there's a new adventure to be had within the storyline, which is really exciting.
Gotcha. We got a few minutes left, so let me jump around to the.
So this is the Shakespeare's Code, which is season 3 with Martha Jones, and so this is Shakespeare's office. And so even though we kind of did a bit of a new design for the room, there are Easter eggs here all the time. When you look to the left, there is an actual bookcase that's a replica from the Shakespeare's Code as well. And this is where the audience get to become a player with William Shakespeare himself.
Yes, it's worth saying just to make it super clear as well. Like these right now are beautiful production shots, but of course you remember there are actors in these sets with audiences playing the narrative, playing the games. And Carl, where do you find this? You find this right now in London. Our plan is to take this around the world.
Seriously,
at the moment, the fracture exists in London.
I volunteer Orlando as tribute. Just saying, right?
Bring it to any Comic-Con going on.
Oh, definitely got to come to a Comic-Con going on out there. Got a few more pictures out there. This is just the door outside.
This is the very entrance in, full of our kind of Area 51/unit signage to show that this area is dangerous.
And I don't know why I thought in my head, but the first time I saw this picture, I thought Ronnie's TARDIS.
Oh, yeah, okay. So this is the spaceship. This is Ziggit Zagoo, which you saw earlier. You saw the side paneling from it. This is a front shot of that. This was inspiration and taken from Dan. Come in here because I can never remember. It's the moment where you see.
This is from the place is actually called Zagitsagu, the bar. It's only in for a tiny bit, but it's at the end of Time Part 2 when Teddy's doing his kind of victory lap, touching with all the companions, and he introduces Captain Jack to Toby's character. Alonso. It's where Jack and Alonso meet. It's where that's based on. And we just had a little bit of fun with that space and made it rather that, well, you don't actually know what that space is. So we placed it within a space liner, and now Zagitsagu, instead of just being a bar, is now a spaceship which serves a narrative function within the show and is host to some incredibly cool alien entertainment.
Gotcha. Yeah, we've got singing Silurian and a singing Crespalian, and they lift the roof every night. So they sing 8 songs.
There you go.
Whilst audiences are enjoying cocktails, whilst meeting characters roaming around. It's a really fun part of the show.
Is the cocktails post show or is it during?
During.
There are bars in every.
So everything's real. Yeah.
So is there any point where like you have people stuck in a bar and they're like, "No, I want to stay here. I'm good."
Yeah.
You're like, "No, you gotta keep moving. Move."
All the bar staff are in character. Like they're in costume. They hold narrative. So our cast pick up.
Forget this game. I'm getting verschnockered on blue ale or something.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You can do the show like that if you want.
Yeah. And it has been the case where some people have been in the Zagitsagu portion of the show where our actors have come up to them and gone, "It's time to go. There's a fracture opened up. You're coming?" And so, no. I'm loving this. I'm staying here. I've got and then we leave them to it. And again, it's very much a choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
I think we got the doctors fighting again.
The doctor always likes to join us. And,
the lads don't like which paintings. I've decided to switch them up so they show up in the comment section and yell at each other.
We're coming out at the end of the show. Let me go through the commercials, but I just want to do a favor for the folks who may have not caught it because we were having some issues connecting to the Wizard World feed. I'll go ahead and rerun the trailer for Time Fracture. We'll go to commercial break. We'll be right back and wrap up the show. Hang tight, folks. Please continue to stay logged on, tuned in. Become part of the legend.
We are the supreme beings. Exterminate!
Oh, brilliant! It's hard to believe that in the 56-year history of the greatest sci-fi television show in the English language, there has never been a fan guide to Doctor Who. The official books might give you what they think you need to know, but only a guide written by a true fan will give you what you really want to know. Join Whovian, the brilliant Mackenzie Flaw, as she takes you on an intensive journey inside the world of the first female Doctor. In the Binge Watcher's Guide to Doctor Who, Season 11. Right, let's get a shift on.
The massive audio Doctor Who Bad Wolf Bluetooth TARDIS speaker. That's all I gotta say, one word. Wow, it looks like it just jumped right off the screen. Here it is in all its Bad Wolf glory. Right here is the on-off switch and the up and down volume. Right here's the speaker. The TARDIS stands about 6 inches from the bottom of the TARDIS all the way up to the top where the light is. Look at the detail. Wow.
I have doctors fighting on our show. Melanie, it's all your fault.
Sorry. I'm not getting balancing on the printer.
What's that?
Right. Nothing. I'm commenting back to these people yelling at each other.
I don't know if you've ever had the pleasure, Becca, Tom, and Dan, if the doctors show up on your YouTube channel as they are going through the feed, they have long, lengthy discussions, and we welcome all of them. Every single one of them. They are just going absolutely nuts on that. So let's go ahead, and we're coming to the end of the show. Dan, where can folks find Time Fracture? Where can they find information on Time Fracture? While I go through the doctor's notes, doing that at the same time.
No worries. You can find more information about the show Time Fracture at the immersivedoctorwho.com, where you can find more information about the show and also ticket booking information, and also on the social channels. So on Twitter, it's at DW Time Fracture, and also on the Doctor Who Time Fracture Facebook page, you can find more information and interesting tidbits about the show.
Gotcha.
It's also worth saying that we will be dropping a trailer for the show in about a week's time.
Oh,
so we'll make sure that you guys are the first to see it. So we'll get it over to you so you can play it on here. It's we had a whole camera crew coming around for a whole week in the show, filming the experience itself. So it'd be nice teasers for you guys when we actually eventually bring it to America or around the world. You guys can step in.
How far in advance can you purchase tickets?
They're on sale right now,
and it's booking up until 2022.
Yeah, so we're on sale now. We run from Tuesdays to Sundays, and all week, and we have matinees on Wednesdays, Saturday, and Sundays. There's lots of opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So especially for our audience over in the UK now, that can go get tickets. Go now for the people
right now.
Stateside or in Canada or wherever else you are. Please get your vaccine so that we can start traveling and getting back to normal. Maybe, please.
Mm-hmm.
As the world comes back to normal, it might make a lovely thing to base a trip around.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sad. I got my second jab. I'm still not magnetic.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, excellent.
There we go.
I'm so disappointed.
I have people with quarters on their arms at my work, so I'm just kind of like. Oh,
so any one of you can answer this question. Where do you see Time Fracture in 5 years? Do you see another story that needs to be told throughout this? Do you see other locations? You mentioned that you want to expand this, put it on the road. Do you have a...
Well, the thing is, we're here talking to you, right? And you guys are in Canada and America. And there's a huge, China have now found Doctor Who. So there's now a world fan base, which is building outside the UK, but building in strength and in numbers, which is incredible because it's an incredible show with so much history and clearly so many passionate fans, as I can see to the right-hand side of the screen with all the comments, with the doctors fighting each other. But yes, there is an absolute joy in us opening the doors to Doctor Who fans because they care and they love the show. And so we're giving them the opportunity to step in and play the main part in a live episode of Doctor Who. So if we can take that out of the UK to America and beyond, to Canada, of course, Dave, and of course to China and places like that, I think that'd be really exciting to kind of unify and unite all the fans in one big episode.
All I can say is there's more to Canada than Toronto and Vancouver. There are cities in between.
Okay.
There are cities in between.
You'll have to give us the tour.
God,
we always get hosed. That's where all of big international concert goes. Those two cities.
Gotcha. Well, I want to thank the three of you for coming on there. Don't forget to go to immersivedoctorwho.com.
Immersive. But you can say it's an immense immersive.
I know it's hard. I can't talk British. There you go. I'm going to put this in the link over there. I will put it in the actual.
Put it in the link so people can read it.
I'm doing
links below as well
right
for
now.
YouTube.
There you go.
There we are.
ImmersiveDoctorWho.com and check out Time Fracture. If you are in the area, go check it out. It looks fun, and let us know what you think when you come back. Check out tell us in the chats what you think about Time Fracture. We want this thing to grow. We want this thing to come into the States. And Rebecca, Rebecca, Tom, it's been a weird day for me too. And Dan, thank you.
Midnight for you.
What's that?
Right?
Yeah, you got
midnight for him.
I haven't gotten to midnight yet. It's going to get weird.
We've just hit the witching hour where we are now.
I know. Well,
it's tomorrow. We're talking to people who it's already tomorrow for.
Well, see, they're already time travelers. They're already in the next day.
Every one of us.
We have an important message from the future. Be careful.
We're going to wrap up the audio version of this, and we just want to let you folks know next week, no show. We are going to be taking a break for our friends in both Canada and the United States. for our Independence Days.
Independence Day from Britain. Well done.
Hey,
well done, you guys.
Sorry.
Well done.
Do you want it back?
All right.
No.
I rest my case there. We will be taking a break, but however, our friend and fellow panelist Simon Fisher Becker, who we've started on our YouTube channel, Simon Says, he will be releasing the second episode of his playlist, which is going to be entitled, I think he's going to be talking about what is sci-fi, and that will be taking place Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will drop only on our YouTube channel, so that's exclusive. He will be doing his show recorded already on our YouTube channel. That will be premiering, so check it out there, and we will be returning the following week to do a review of Out of Time with Tom Baker and David Tennant, the 10th Doctor. So without any further ado, Tom, Rebecca, and Dan, I will give you the final word before we end the audio version of the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, and we'll see you in person in the Fracture one day very soon.
Thank you three for coming. Everybody, please stay safe. Wash your hands, as my friend Brian K. Morris says, and just stay safe out there. Get your shots if you can get vaccinated. Go for it. And please continue to become part of the legend. We want to see you out there once everything starts to really open up. And welcome to the After Party broadcast. Becca, Tom, Dan, I know it's midnight. Go to sleep. If you guys want to stick around out there, we're just going to spend another 30 minutes answering questions, taking care of the doctors.
The first Doctor jumped in to try and break everybody up. Did he have any success?
I don't think so. It never works. They usually all hang up on him.
Not listening to their elders. That's not great.
Are they logged into this, or do they have the account as like the 7th Doctor, 11th Doctor?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Wow.
We don't know.
Each person comes in as the Doctor. Each Doctor comes in and starts shouting at one another. And they're usually yelling at each other for wall space.
But there can't be more than one 10th Doctor.
What did you do, Dave?
I had a great 3-hour broadcast on Reels and Heels with her. So we just kept doing this. So maybe that's why. Monopolizing her show.
It sounds like you did something wrong out there. The doctors are just non-stop talking.
Don't take the show to Winnipeg. Don't do it. Don't do it. They're mean there. They're mean there.
Oh, and for those of you who want to listen to the audio version of the show, as I mentioned there, we are on iHeartRadio, sci-fi.radio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, CBSRadio.com, Spreaker, and Player FM. Wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, we're there. And this is all brought to you by the Hanging with Web Show TV. So thank you to them. If you're listening, just the best one I usually say is, and nothing against everybody else, radio.com or iHeartRadio. But wherever you listen, Spotify, check it out. You can just subscribe on there. So, like I said, Rebecca, Tom, Dan, you can leave at any time. We're just going to be talking. There is, but thank you so much for coming on.
Yes.
Orlando's a great destination. Wherever Dave's at is a good destination. Yeah. You know what, Melanie? How about this?
I'll travel. I have no problem traveling. It's just if the world lets me do that again, because I fled the UK in March of 2020. So before the world went to so I'd like to go back.
Go to bed.
Go to bed. Go to bed. Go to bed. Thank you so
much. Thank you so much, guys. It was really nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Oh, now Tom's gone. Never mind. I was going to ask him how they are going to do this. Oh wait, Dan's still here. Dan, maybe you.
Dan's back while everybody else left.
Hey,
that was me being kicked off. I felt incredibly rude. So
nobody kicked you off.
Oh, was it not? I thought I was going. I thought my internet had failed. In which case, thank you very much. Pleasure talking to you, and good night.
And good night.
I wouldn't know how they're going to move this show.
Have not stopped talking.
No, because they love me, and I love all of them. But yes, they 8 wanted to get a painting, but I already have 8's painting. But unfortunately, I no longer have it because I sold it a while ago. So 8, you already have. Yeah, actually 8 was the one that got sold first. So there's a lot of 8 love, and to let 10 know. Paul McGann did sign the 8th painting, so that's why I think he sold so quickly. Honestly, I gotta find those photos at some point and show people just the faces he was making because he loved it. But anyway,
call it a love tap.
Willow.
There you go. There, my goodness, these doctors are so jealous about your wall.
Well, I do have more wall space, but I just can't get to them. I mean, see,
I'm sorry, just make little picture heads about.
Technically 7, you're there, kind of, because I mean that's Radagast though, and
that's right, Dan. No more.
Right, there's Captain Jack. So,
what you need to do, Melanie, is you need to take all of these, combine them into a big collage, like on a shower curtain.
Right, and then that way,
there you go.
You can bake with the doctors. Oh wait, that isn't. No, never mind. We'll just say that it's a backdrop. It's a backdrop, like Christian's shower curtain backdrop.
Exactly.
As well.
I'd maybe just make one painting with all of them in there and just make them all happy.
I honestly think that's going to end up being the thing that happens. Although I'm starting to do some. Thank you, Faith. And Faith is our preeminent 13th Doctor cosplayer. If you haven't seen her, but you followed the Doctor Who on their main actual official social media channels, you might have seen our lovely Faith Kelly in her 13th cosplay, because if you remember one cosplayer that had space for everyone with the coat opened up and the space that was Faith. So everybody check out her cosplay.
Yeah, but she's our premier 13th Doctor, and I just want to let you know, at the end of the July, we're going to be going to another convention, and I can't tell you much about it. I just know we're hosting panels. That's it. That's all I can tell you. We're hosting panels at this convention, and it will be. Let me go ahead and pull them up.
13.
Where is it? I thought no.
But yes, coming up as Wizard World and everyone else starts kind of kicking back into the con scene right now. You'll be able to see me and Christian at MegaCon in Orlando and at Tampa Bay Comic Con in Tampa.
That will be our next convention.
But again, as we start kicking more, as Wizard World starts kind of jumping in, you'll definitely see us representing there too.
But yes, we will be hosting panels at Tampa Bay Comic-Con. This will be taking place July 30th to August 1st at the Tampa Bay Convention Center, located on Franklin Street. They're back. We're happy to see them back. What's
Beautiful
that?
area. It's right on the water. Beautiful area. Huge convention center. It's very nice. Very easy to park and get around. It's just lovely area.
What do you mean, hope, Faith? You're going to make it out there. Okay, so you're going to MegaCon. Yeah, you better get to TBCC. That's in your territory. That's your home place.
As he yells at our people.
That's right. Well, it's Faith.
We have no idea where Dave's going to be. He'll be wherever the heck ridehole.ca is, because he just likes to drive around 2 different countries.
Yeah, Tampa Bay. I don't know where I am. I'm probably still here. Yeah, but I am hoping to get there for StarCon Orlando. That's the theory, which is the same people that do Central Florida Comic Con. That's one of Ben's shows.
So if you want to get tickets, I'll go ahead and put it in the chat. Make sure to go to.
If you are going to Dragon Con in September, you will see us there.
That's right.
Kind of, because we will be hosting a panel, one of the online panels. So in order to adhere to a lot of COVID guidelines, the fine folks over at Dragon Con are going to be cleaning a lot of the rooms, I think twice a day, and they have to, sanitize, and everything takes about an hour. So in order to give you guys something to do and to some of the live content, you will be seeing us here in our little boxes doing a show about I'm trying to remember what the show topic will be. What? Guys, you were on it.
Could be big, could be Finish.
There we are. Thank you. It was about Big Finish. We were giving you Big Finish recommendations. So if you're at Dragon Con or I think they are going to do something virtual, they're going to have stuff streaming to kind of, fill the content while they're cleaning, and we will be there.
And we want to thank Caro Tidwell for helping us get out there. Yeah, we'll be at Dragon Con for right now, virtually. Hopefully next year that will change, but we are going to be there and bringing our take on Big Finish, and I guess for a better term, the Big Finish starter kit. We had an episode starter kit, but we've never had the Big Finish starter kit out there. So definitely Tampa Bay Comic-Con or Tampa Bay Comic Convention. Go there to get tickets, as well as MegaCon. We will be there. We will have a booth. We will be having panels. And I love the way, I don't want to say too much in the background, but they're letting us know the panels slowly. Mm-hmm. So we haven't received all the word, so I can't give you the details on the panels for either Tampa Bay or Mega. Just let you know, if you want to geek out Doctor Who, we're going to be at both. Check us out there. And there should be more to come. We'll let you know. But those two are confirmed right now. I know we're trying to do something with SD Who, San Diego Who. That's going to be taking place in October, and I think we're just going to be doing virtual. But without further ado, just in case you didn't know, let me see if I can find it. Well, 1 second.
Dead air.
Dead air.
Dead air.
Dead air.
College radio.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, we dead air. I just wanted to
sure, go ahead.
Do a little tribute. JR, everyone knows JR in Florida. Unfortunately, here in Alberta, we've got Canada Wolverine Dale here, who just recently passed away from brain cancer. And if you have ever been to a convention, Edmonton Expo, Calgary Expo, anything in Alberta, you will have recognized him. He is impossible not to notice. So, but it will be a very different convention season for us in the same sort of way it has been for you guys out there. So, just wanted to give him a mention because he deserves it.
Oh, okay. Well, without further ado, we couldn't be on the Wizard World channel without at least giving Wizard World its due. Wizard World is back, and it will be at Chicago, October 15th through the 17th. Get your tickets now. You can just simply go on wizardworld.com. That is the best place to go to. I actually pulled up the site on their Facebook page, but our friends Wizard World, they are back October 15th through the 17th, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, let me see where that's at. That is at the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center in Rosemont, Illinois, and it's only about 3 months away, so get your tickets now. I believe you can get them. I'm going to go ahead and put the ticket information into the chat. So if you are in that area and you want to check out our friends at Wizard World, please do so. There you go. Oh, the doctors have been talking at the same time. But Melanie loves all the doctors. We love all the doctors. We love it when you guys come out over here. I'm waiting for more guest announcements for TVCC. Yeah, I think nothing against TVCC. A little bit short on the guest list. I understand. But I would, we just don't want to go out there for the guests. We go out there for our friends and such. Yeah, I'll be meeting Eccleston at MegaCon. That's the plan. Yeah, we're going to be going to see Christopher Eccleston at MegaCon. I can't wait to see, because he was originally scheduled to go in 2020 when everything went down. The Eighth Doctor, I got it. Yeah. Oh, I know.
I'm gonna miss Eccleston. He's gonna be in Calgary, which has been rescheduled for the week in between PAX West and Gen Con while I'm driving through the U.S.
You know what? The Eighth Doctor is saying I got sold. I don't know why it's a bad thing. Somebody loves you out there. Somebody's got a home for you. So I don't think you should be ashamed by that. I think you should be enjoying that you got sold. Yeah, I've never been sold before either. There, Melanie is invisible. Yeah, I think she just went away for a moment. There, she's back. She's coming back. There you go. So I was there he is. Oh. Melanie, I was consoling the Eighth Doctor. I said he got sold. That means there's a loving home for him.
Yes.
Somewhere. So why is he upset?
He's an adore. Yeah. So there you go. There's a print of 8. So you can see a print there. He exists. So does he. Yeah. He's here too.
There you go.
All right.
Man, let me get. Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Are we happy now? Are you happy, babies? Are we happy, my children?
Well, Melanie,
I only put you on the printer. I hate you. You are actually in my hallway.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. This is a print. This gets sold at cons. So I feel like I'm shilling my own stuff now. But yeah, and there is Fourth Doctor love. All right. So I made a magnet of the scarf. And there, yeah, you can get yourself a car magnet. So go visit my Etsy page. Go make me rich.
Want to stick? Won't stick to me. Superpowers.
We're just gonna have an episode where the doctors
doesn't stick to me. See?
Yeah,
maybe it would have stuck to Willow. She made a video about that. I don't remember if the magnet stuck to her. It didn't. You'll have to go and check it out.
People putting quarters on my arm saying, see, it sticks. I'm like, you could stick a quarter anywhere and it will stick. It's about the flat surface and adhesion. Come on. Lord.
I think Faith, you're right.
Take science classes?
I think Billie Piper was scheduled. What do you mean?
For what?
For the when Eccleston was supposed to be at MegaCon, I think Billie Piper was on that list.
Yes.
I think so.
But I don't know if it's the same, if it's happening again. I'm not sure. But yes. Yes, you're right.
You're being jealous.
You're
These guys are just. There's no reason, Doctor, you have to be jealous.
You're a print of my just a print. I gotta paint you again.
Yes.
Apparently.
You need to paint him with shorter hair or with longer hair, I guess.
I wanted to paint it. Okay, first of all, I painted him from Night of the Doctor, and I did nothing but like military kind of greens or military greens, because that's when he kind of decided he was going to become a warrior and fight. So. That's the background of that.
Oh my goodness, we've got doctors fighting.
I love you guys so much. You don't know how much my heart sings. I just
fighting
love you all
over
so
wall.
Desperately. I'm trying to see if I can't find the photo.
If it makes you feel better, doctors, I'm not on Melanie's wall. Okay,
he's not. He's not.
Probably won't.
I probably have to do 4 next. Oh, here we go. Okay, guys, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry for the glare. But there you are. See? Can you see?
You.
See? There you are. There you go. Again, I'm sorry about the glare. I should put this in here. But yeah, see? That's a cat. There you go. There's Paul. There's me. There we go. Proof. Yes, I keep it in my favorites.
10's dissing 8 right now, and it's really...
10! Leave him alone. 8, see, you were there. And you were being held by you. And you were signed by you. And then somebody else wanted you so much more in their helm that I had to let you go. Okay? And that is a cat. That was Rutherford as a kitten. Just laying down on the couch like an idiot. So, yeah.
You gotta be on the mobile.
I don't know. Are you on my mobile? Hold on a second. I don't know. Are you? Are you on my mobile? Is that a selfie? What?
Oh, wow. Where was that taken?
That's me freezing my ass off. Outside Richard II in Brooklyn years ago.
Wow.
The Royal Shakespeare Company came to do the Great Cycle of Kings. And try as we may, we were trying to get tickets for every one of them, but we were only able to, I think we could have gotten one of the Henrys and I think Henry IV and Richard II, but we ended up just getting, I think, Richard II. But it was in Brooklyn. It was at the Brooklyn, it was at BAM. I can't remember the acronym. Academy Music, I think it was. But yeah, it was Great Cycle of Kings. I have other paintings of see, that's another painting I did, but this was a commission. I'm so sorry I'm doing it this way. But yeah, that was a commission. Sorry, guys. That's 10 and Billy, and it's signed by them. That was by her. So, yeah. There's, 10. You were painted twice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Faith, honestly, though, I love the Doctor banter. That's literally like how I am with a few of my other Doctor cosplay friends in character banter.
I have pictures of Tennant signing my painting and Billy signing the painting. So that's them signing it and his expression of my painting. So that was Rose. Like, I know. So yeah, there you go. Happy?
Well,
are we good now? Are we good now? We're good now?
No, they're never going to be good about it.
God.
We know better. They're not going to be happy.
And I love it. It makes my heart filled with joy.
It still reminds me when Paul McGann signed the TARDIS bottom, and I said, please write small so that the other doctors can sign, and he writes it like half the size of the bottom of the TARDIS. And I said, Paul, come on, really? And he goes, no, that's my TARDIS. So like now he's got...
This photo, when he signed my painting, that was the same time Mr. Christian Basil up here was doing. He moderated the panel, and I was attending, and Nisha was attending, and we didn't really know each other at that point.
I know, and I had the
pictures together, like crowd pictures together.
I have a ton of pictures of Christian before I even knew who the hell he was. I'm sending them to him. I'm like, hey, guess what? I was there.
We put him up one time, and I'm like, isn't that Nisha? Oh, hey, that's Nisha.
Yeah, I had to find out we're in the she's in the row right in front of me.
We've always said that.
I probably could look at it and find Faith in there.
Convention life is a little strange, especially if you go to a lot of the cons, because if you meet people, you don't have time to socialize because you're doing your thing. You're trying to promote your product, or you're trying to promote the podcast, or you're doing something else. There's a great cosplayer. I can't think of his name. He does. Who's the guy that Walking Dead?
Cecil
Grimes. Cecil Gardner. Cecil Grimes, I think he calls.
He goes by Cecil Grimes.
Cecil Grimes. It took 3 years before I even met him face to face, and we ended up at a convention in Dallas, and we just finally said, "Can we talk to you?" And we went out to dinner with him, but it took like 2 to 3 years before that. So that's why it's interesting, because that was MegaCon fan days, and I think I knew Nisha. We were still kind of like getting to know each other, but not on a scale that we do now. It does feel like forever ago there. Yeah, probably. Sorry, Eighth, you lose. Oh wow, gosh!
See,
this is some.
It's never done. Never done.
I don't know whether to paint everybody or not now, because I'm scared that they're going to keep yelling at each other. What if I start? So I want to start painting like the Bad Batch, and now I'm feel bad if I start doing that. I'm going to get yelled at by my doctors.
Yeah, they're going to go. What's
my
that?
Beloveds.
You won.
Why are you doing that?
All of one. All 3 ones.
I have to, I guess.
At once.
At once. All of them.
Anyway, can't get away without the plug out here.
Yes.
For those of you, youtube.com, The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. youtube.com/The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Simon Fisher Becker has already had an episode of Simon Says, and the second one will be premiering the same time we would be having the next episode. We're going to be taking a break next Tuesday, for those of you who didn't hear. We're going to be taking a break, but Simon's going to be releasing an episode. What is it exactly? Defining what science fiction is. And he gives his take from an 8-year-old girl named Tracy who asked him about what is sci-fi. So he gives his answer to that. That's only going to premiere on the YouTube channel, and that'll be dropping. So subscribe now. Go over to the YouTube page, youtube.com/The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can find out when that episode drops and all the episodes that will be dropping. And we are just growing massively. So if you want the most recent episode that we're on right now, there it is, Time Fracture. Mm-hmm. The Who Knew News, that's going to be growing up. We're going to be, I'm hoping we are talking to our friends over at Central Florida Comic-Con to see if anybody will Tampa Bay Comic-Con, see if anybody wants to come on and talk about the convention and more Doctor Who news, bits of the TARDIS done for our friends over at therathole.ca. Of course, Simon Says, interviews, Doctor Who reviews, Big Finish reviews. When we come back, we're going to be doing Out of Time. You're going to have a lot of content going on as the channel approaches and grows. Oh. Was that just a shut up 11 to keep him in check?
Yeah, because I found a sketch.
Awesome.
That's blurry, guys. I'm sorry, but there you go. He's there.
They would yell at each other.
I have so many sketches. Yeah. That's that other thing, but
Dan, that's why convention after parties are so fun, Christian. Yeah, they are. Yes, they are very entertaining. So
unless you're vending and you go back to your room just to paint and cry and
why?
Because you have stuff to do.
Well, it's always fun at the convention.
That Dr. Rose one was a commission I had to get done overnight. I didn't sleep.
Oh, really?
Night. Yeah, I did not sleep. I was painting feverishly.
Oh, we got 11's approval on that one.
See, I got you, boo. I just gotta. I know how I want to paint you. I just don't know. Do it.
I think there's an after party at MegaCon with. I'm guessing. I'm really guessing. I think there's an after party with the Kitchen Killers. I'm going to be completely.
I'm beginning to think that maybe the next time we have a con that's near you, maybe we should have a Legend of the Traveling TARDIS meetup.
I would love that.
We can do that.
So what do you guys think about that? We're meeting up.
Comment below.
Yeah, of course. Comment.
Comment below if you think, whenever you happen to watch this, if it's something that you would be interested for a Legend of the Traveling TARDIS meetup. Again, the next conventions are going to be at Tampa Bay Comic-Con and at Megalocon Orlando. Again, all the other ones, especially our friends at Wizard World pending. But if it's one that you would like to meet us at, because as far as we're going to be there, we'll definitely have a booth at MegaCon. But if it's something that you would like to do, like either an after party or some sort of kind of meetup afterwards, maybe we can go ahead and set that up. That might be a little fun kind of thing. You can meet with us, interact with us in person, except this guy, because again, he's off in doing Canadian things. And maybe we can, sit back, have a couple drinks, and kind of chit chat.
Melanie, I think you're now the new River song. Every doctor is claiming you. They want to be on your wall. We can do a big picture together. I know that would be great. Of him. Oh, good Lord. Dr.
I know the channel has to come in here with their screwdriver and slow them down.
I think one episode we'll probably just have the doctors talking. That will be it.
I love them. I love you also. I love you passionately.
You guys are awesome. Oh, God. So Tampa Bay Comic-Con.
Yes, we can do a big picture together.
This is.
Sorry, guys. I don't have comment control today. Again, I can't.
I did put that up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we are coming to the end of the show. Please, our next convention, Tampa Bay Comic-Con, don't forget to get tickets. We're going to be doing panels. We'll give more information as it comes our way. MegaCon, we are doing panels and having a booth. We'll give you more information as it comes our way. But we want to thank you all for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for all the support you've given us. Again, next week we're going to take a break, but we're going to be coming back the following Tuesday to talk about Out of Time, and we can't wait. So 10 and 4 can feel a little bit more better about themselves since we're going to be talking about them. Oh, my goodness. Let them want it. Don't listen to them.
I have so much time to paint babies.
Oh, all the love out there. Fingers crossed I can go. You better. I love you, Faith. Come on out there. When I took pictures of Faith over at Tampa Bay the last time, the pictures were beautiful. Faith, I'm going to tell you this. You are the person who actually inspired me. We have an album on the Traveling TARDIS called No Sir, All 13s. And they're all 13th Doctors. Any cosplayer who has come across the Traveling TARDIS and took a picture with it is on there. Just for people who have dressed up as 13. So there is an incentive. You will become part of that album. Get some rest. Yeah, definitely. All those hearts. Oh my goodness, guys. They're starting all over again. We both know they are. Good grief. This is going to be.
Remember, we're not here next week. So we're going to get some rest. Especially Chris needs to get some rest because this man is working overtime on this show.
I know.
So we're going to all relax, and we will see you the following weekend.
And we want to thank everybody from Time Fracture. Don't forget to check them out. If you're in the UK area, please check out that attraction. It looks so good. It looks really good. And comment in here whether you're going to be going, whether you've already gone. Comment, like, subscribe. So thank you, everybody. Oh, we'll make that the last chat. Faith, I miss you. We all miss you too. Love you. Yeah. So thank you, everybody, and please stay safe out there. Do what you need to do. Protect yourselves. And again, we want you to all become part of the legend. So please stay safe. Thank you. And have a great night.